there times you thought about ending your marriage? It's funny how your home can start feeling like a workplace with no clock out. That's what marriage had become for me. 7 years, 2 small kids, and a division of labor that looked fair on paper, if you didn't realize how lopsided the grunt work was. I juggled a part-time job, the laundry, the cooking, the childcare. The list went on until the therapist started talking about parental overload. That's how I found myself at a Mutterkin Cur, a therapeutic mother-child retreat. Not a spa, not a vacation, with 2 kids in tow because my nerves and body were ready to mutiny. Before I left, I asked my husband for 3 things. Not miracles, clean the toilet, return a package, do our kids' laundry. It was less than the bare minimum. When I got home after 3 weeks, exhausted and hopeful for the tiniest bit of reprieve, I walked in and saw it all untouched, not just unfinished, completely ignored, as if I'd never asked. I lost it. He argued he'd done a lot, naming invisible projects, cleaning the garden of stones that weren't going anywhere until January. His message was loud and clear. Real problems were my domain. Anything cosmetic he'd tackle on his schedule. I steamed, he sulked, then he accused me of bad communication, told me I should have stayed if the retreat was so stressful, that he always took care of the kids just fine when I was out. I could feel my goodwill fracture. I told him I wished I hadn't come home, that it felt easier to be away from the place I was supposed to recharge in. He went off on a work trip, leaving me alone to clean, parent, and fight back resentment so thick it felt like smog. I dreaded his return, part of me ready to end it. But when he came back, something was different. Maybe the fear of losing the easy routine shocked him awake. He brought flowers and chocolates. Small efforts, yeah, but more than I'd expected. We sat down. For once, I went first, laying out every sore spot, feeling invisible, hating how every task became a negotiation, the exhaustion of carrying everything. I told him baldly, change or I'd have to leave. He didn't bark back. Instead, he counted off his own frustrations. Some fair, some just worn down complaints. He hated the nagging, but admitted it only happened because he ignored things until I snapped. He resented I shut down, iced him out for days, but he saw he'd built that distance by refusing to meet me halfway. We called a quiet phase. 2 months under the same roof, different beds, splitting everything by the calendar, and crucially, each getting a few hours of real time off each week. We held to the deal. Lists on the fridge, little boxes to check off who did what, sometimes arguing over details, but arguments that didn't end with me begging for basics or him storming out. Slowly, the dynamic began to change. He started noticing messes, picking up chores before I had to ask. Some things stayed the same. He never did laundry quite to my standard. I still found myself leaning up more than him, but the gap in effort finally closed. No major fights, just annoyance over small things, the kind you can laugh about later. My therapist called it progress. She was right. I found myself unloading anger before it calcified. We both started talking sooner, shutting down less. He learned where my limits were, the actual breaking point, not the long slide toward hopelessness. And the kids, for the first time, saw routines that didn't leave one parent in a spiral. This isn't the happy ending story I imagined when I signed my wedding papers, but it's better than treading water, begging for the smallest signs of growth. Most days I'm still tired, still pressed on all sides, still wishing I had a little more help, but now, when I go away, I know I might come back to a clean toilet. Not because I nagged, but because he finally sees it's his job too. Maybe this is what partnership really looks like: setting boundaries, tolerating imperfection, and holding on to hope that change, even a little, is possible.